Finally, I've gotten the words I've been looking for, a vindication of what P2B said. This video I'm going to watch now is a video where Dr. Ngozi Okonjo Iweala, one of the wisest women we have in Africa, where she came out to give advice to Nigeria governments and to Africa governments. This video she said was exactly what P2B said before his campaign and what P2B said after his campaign and what P2B is still saying to today. So this woman vindicated P2B and also vindicated me, because I've always been saying this thing, that the only way Nigeria can move forward is two things. First of all, curb insecurity from Nigeria, and secondly, turn this country from a country that only consumes to a country that produces, because it's a shameful thing that Nigeria government can illegally mine our raw materials and export them, and the money is for their own use. And tomorrow they go to import the raw material they exported to China, and then they import the finished goods. Do you see how this government are making a mess of us? But I like guys to look at what Dr. Okonjo Iweala said, and then what P2B said, and then I'd love to hear your own views in the comment section. Take a look, guys.
One of the key things that is emanating is a recognition of the present very difficult geopolitical context we are in. And of course, as the head of the WT, I'm right in the middle of it. But one thing is very clear. Africa we really need to change our mindset. Access to aid, I think we can begin to think of it as a thing of the past. We really have to focus on two things: attracting investment and mobilizing our own domestic resources. And I think that is a theme that is running through almost all the meetings here at the AU. I think African leaders are recognizing that this is a challenge, but we can also see it as an opportunity. And again, I'm glad to say that it's emerging that, look, this could be looked at as an opportunity. This morning, we had a session with the Multilateral Development Bank Association of Africa itself, along with President Mahama. One of the things we talked about is how do we better mobilize our own resources on the continent to invest in ourselves. I pointed out that we have about $250 billion worth of pension funds resources on the continent, which we need to find a way to tap. First, the pension funds need to look at their regulations to see how they change it so that they can invest more on the continent rather than investing more outside. And pension funds from South Africa is the biggest, but you have South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, Morocco, Botswana, Namibia, so many countries. When you start totaling the resources, it's huge, hugely significant. 250 billion is the estimate that I have. We have these multilateral development banks like African Finance Corporation. Afrexim Bank is chairing the Association of African Multilateral Institutions. We need to capitalize them better. Instead of looking outside to see, oh, what can we get? We have our own institutions. The shareholders are the African governments. Capitalize them properly so that their balance sheet can expand. They have a combined balance sheet now of about 70 billion. But if you look at the $70 billion, but if you look at the needs we have for infrastructure alone, up to more than 200 billion a year, you can see that we need to expand the balance sheets of these organizations. We have more than 84 national development banks and financial institutions, quite apart from the multilateral. How do we mobilize them and capitalize them better so they can help us finance? In Nigeria, during the time I was finance minister, we raised a diaspora bond of $300 million that was quite successful. That's another type of instrument you can tapping our resources of our people outside, not just inside the continent. So there's so many creative and innovative ways we can raise resources. I want to end by one thing. Another theme going here at the meeting is the realization that we have to better add value and monetize our mineral resources on the continent. Almost every head of state is talking about large discoveries of lithium, manganese, copper, so many things that are needed in the manufacture of electric batteries and vehicles. They are found on this continent. The issue is, how do we attract the right investment so they add value? They don't come dig up the mine, the resources, and get them processed elsewhere. They have to be processed on the continent to create more jobs for us and to increase our trade. The only way we are going to be able to finance ourselves is to grow our economies, trade more, add value to our products, trade more. And at the WTO, we're trying to see what are those barriers that are preventing us. Sometimes when we add value, we can't export it the way we want. What are those barriers? And we have a unique opportunity at our 14th ministerial next year, which will be in Cameroon, for Africa to articulate those barriers and for us at the WTO to work hard to make sure that we lower them so we can have a better percentage of world trade and a better percentage of intra-Africa trade.
And then I would like guys to take a look at what P2B said. We are all driving at the same point. Change this country from a country that consumes to a country that produces. We cannot have loss of raw materials in this country. We have oil, copper, mineral resources, gold, name them, iron ore, all of them are in this country, Nigeria. We have a country flowing in milk and honey, but we have the wrong government that will put this in use. Take a look at what P2B said and then I will continue from there.
Unique selling point is, tell Nigerians in a nutshell, again, remind them why when February they go to the polls, they should vote for the two of you.
Okay. Two of us have appealed to Nigerians. Next year's election should not be based on tribe. No tribe buys bread cheaper or have better roads and everything. It should not be based on religion. No religion buys bread cheaper or has been able to employ everything. It should not be based on my turn. It is turn of Nigerians to take back their country. We have promised we will secure and unite this country.
That's your promise.
We have promised we will ensure that we move Nigeria from consumption to production, start pulling people out of poverty. We will ensure we will work with rule of law, deal with the issue of corruption, where we bring it to a minimum. We will govern from the front. We'll be in charge. And we'll make Nigeria work where today we have a Nigeria, but we don't have Nigerians. We will create Nigerians who will be proud of their country because we'll be in charge. It will stop at our desk. And we work as a brother. No team in this equation can beat our team.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peter Obi and Dr. Dati.
Then someone is coming out to say that P2B had no legacy. What P2B did in 8 years in office, no governor have done it in the history of Nigeria. Someone came into office and then saw that there was no good education. He came up and made Anambra State to be among the highest in education. Someone came into office and made Anambra among the safest states in the whole Nigeria and the whole Southeast. But today, what do we have? We have insecurity ravaging the north, the east, the south. Everywhere is full of insecurities, and the government doesn't care because P2B have come out to say, P2B and Oshomole have come out to say something about the illegal mining. That illegal mining cannot happen without the knowledge of the government. And then what have the government done about the illegal mining? Nothing. Because why? They are the ones signing the illegal mining. Because before you can do illegal mining, you must there are some processes you must follow. It's not like it's something you can go and pick and run. There must be a process to follow before you can achieve or successfully mine anything illegally. So the government should answer that question that people have asked. How did they get approval? How did they pass all the customs? How did they pass all the checkpoints? And then nobody knew that they were illegal miners. Make it make sense. And then again, the worst part of this issue is that Nigeria government, they export our raw materials, they take it to China, and later they import the finished materials from China. Which doesn't make any sense. A good government should do what? Look for a way to maximize those raw materials that is in Nigeria and look for a way to turn it into a finished goods so that we ourselves can export finished goods, thereby improving our economy. Anybody say that Nigeria, that no money in Nigeria is a big lie. Is a liar. Because tell me how a man in the current Nigerian politician was able to have 700 and something duplexes in one estate. One man. Then that was the money of the public. Because if you check all these politicians, few of them have businesses. All of them are using our public funds to establish themselves so that in case they leave power, they will have something to go back on. But P2B left a lot of money in office and left the governor and led 8 years in Anambra State without taking a dime because of what he has a business. These are people we need in office, people that are not just there because of the money, but they are there because they want a better Nigeria and not just for their own personal gain. That's what P2B is trying to portray to this government, but the hatred is too much. They don't like P2B because P2B is in a position, even to the extent of even threatening P2B and to the extent of calling him a terrorist because he was advocating for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, which everybody had been doing, but they took P2B's own as a terror activity. Whereas we have some other leaders that have also called for Nnamdi Kanu's release. You see how this country is so discriminating that it's not being hidden that they are carrying out a lot of injustice when it comes to Nnamdi Kanu's case. These are the things we see on social media, and then we ask ourselves, how did we get to this level? Can this country move forward? No. Because so till they fight insecurity in this country and change this country and build factories and industries that can produce and employ youth, this country can never get better. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Your views. Don't forget to always subscribe. Stay tuned, guys.